Luther part 29. Let's see what juicy stories we have today. My cousins and I went clubbing, and little did I know they were inviting a few people from work, and they brought plus ones. At that time, I was seeing someone and things were great, so I never really looked at anyone else. One of my cousins, let's call her Laura, got with one of the plus ones, let's call him Pa'u. Oka. O langi whai Pa'u ngi mea bad things. Pa'u came with a friend, let's call him Lasso. So now that Pa'u was getting comfortable with Laura, Lasso was trying to flirt with me. But me being, she quotes, Miss Loyal that I am, I shut him down. Since that night, Laura would tell me about Pa'u, and honestly, he gave me for the street vibes and was a red flag left and right. After some time, I told Laura to stay away from Pa'u, which she did, but now she was chatting up Lasso. She told me about it and I was like, you do you, boo, and never told her about him flirting with me the first night. I didn't think it'll be a big deal. Sounds like your feelings are hurt, girl. Fast forward, Laura was invited to a Halloween party and she took me as a plus one. The whole night, Laura and Lasso were holding hands, and at this point, everyone knew they were a thing. The party comes to an end and it's only the hostess, Lasso, me, and Laura left. We were all fucked at that point. Lasso was sitting across from me at the table. Tell me why, as we were drinking, I could feel someone's leg rubbing up against me. I was shocked. I stood up. Really? Were you really shocked? I was shocked. I stood up straight away and said I was going for a ciggy, and guess who follows me? Lasso. Laura and the hostess don't smoke, so it was only me and Lasso outside. As I was lighting up my smoke, this eye guy puts one hand on my neck about to choke me, and puts his face next to my ear and whispers, I know you want me. I know you want me, Mose. I was so turned on and we started kissing. I quickly pulled away because I knew I couldn't do that to Laura and told him that can't happen. Couldn't do it to Laura. What about because you have a boyfriend? We go back in and it's time for us to go home because Laura was falling asleep. Lasso drops us home, but tell me why this bitch Laura was so out of it she locked me outside the house. Lasso was waiting for us to get in the house, so I went back to him to ask if he could help me open the door. Instead, I let him help himself to this punani, and we ended up doing the bad things that night. My cousin and Lasso were together for about a year and she still doesn't know about what me and Lasso did. Should I tell her now that they're not together? First of all, are you still with your man? Because I would be telling him first what you were doing. Kwa unfaithful killing ikang wakasole. Next one. So I talked to multiple guys because it's always good to explore. Anyways, from talking to 6 to 7 guys at once, she followed the streets. I narrowed it down to 3 guys who live near me. They literally live a suburb away from me, whereas the others live in other states. B1, B2, and B3 are all Samoans. I betcha they're going to end up being brothers. B1 owns a house. B2 is a whaiwhi'ao's son and still gives money to his parents, and the third is a seasonal worker. Says we want peace, not problems. To me, they're all wha'apasi kaimi, which means they are just all passing time for her. B1 and I have sex once every fortnight. B2 is once a month, and B3 is whenever I feel like it. I don't have any attachments or feelings for any of them. So is this a bad thing or only live once in a lifetime thing? It's a hoe thing. Next. I'm currently in Samoa and am a teacher at one of the schools here. I fell in love with some dude. Let's call him Polo. Polo is in one of the classes I'm teaching in. Oh, no, chicha, no. Unexpectedly, he added me on Snapchat and there we started talking late at nights. Mind you, he knows that I'm his maths teacher. You just exposed what teacher you were. So this went on, and one night Bolo wanted to meet. So we met up, and there he confesses his feelings to me. At that time, I felt butterflies all over me, but at the same time, it's giving. I'm actually thinking, if all the students are going to be looking at all these maths teachers, what the actual fuck am I doing kind of vibe? Yet I ended up kissing him that night, and we started our relationship. This sounds like that Balangi lady and that Tongan student that she had, and they grew up and had kids together. That's what it's giving, okay? Of course, going to school the next morning was very awkward and different. Although he was so good at hiding it, he asked me to just treat him like all the other students, whereas outside of school, it was a different story. This went on for weeks, and we would always meet up and drink with his friends or would have dinner alone, and I loved it. Fast forward, one of the teachers from the school I was teaching in found out, and we had to put an end to it all. But just last week, we started talking again, where he came over to my place and we did the bad things. At this point, I'm thinking of quitting my job because of the risks that I did. Oh my gosh, first of all, what's the age gap? And secondly, is this like a legitimate relationship? Like, if you're both in love with each other, then resign and go to another school to teach at, or make him swap schools. I don't know. But if it's like a real true love story, you would do anything for love, trust me. Because Titi followed me to Australia. Just kidding.